Happy Monday evening. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Sports Talk for Monday, August 9th. I apologize for neglecting you, my few fans. Speaking of that, I've been making these videos kid-friendly because there is a 7-year-old girl who means the world to me. I like her to watch my travel videos, but I think by making them kid-friendly, the comments get turned off, and I'd like to have comments on my videos. So I think I'm going to stop making them kid-friendly, even though I'm going to still try to make the content kid-friendly so kids can watch it and stuff. But I'm going to stop hitting the option on these videos for kids at the end when I post it, because I want people to comment, even if I don't get very many. I don't have a whole lot of followers, but I'd like to have an option available to people. So yes, again, I apologize for neglecting you. I've been consumed by drafting. This is my favorite time of year because it's fantasy football season. A lot of drafts coming up, a lot of leagues I'm sorting through. But it's getting even better because I've got dynasty basketball leagues now, and we are in the midst of a draft in slow draft format. Even though I hate slow draft, but this draft is like an all-day thing. It's distracting me at work. I'm still getting my stuff done, no problem. But so far I've had 3 picks because I traded. So I got the number 1 pick, which was kind of cool. Number 1 overall pick. I took Luka, but then it's a 30-team dynasty league. I'm on the turn, so I didn't pick again until 60, 61. I ended up trading out of the 2nd round pick and got 3 first rounders. 2022, 2023, and 2024 first rounders for that 2nd round pick. I thought that was a nice haul. Couldn't pass that up, especially since I had back-to-back picks. I picked again. Ended up picking at 61. So I've only picked 3 times. We're at the back of the 4th round now. I've had 3 picks. I just traded up from pick 30 in the 4th to pick 17 in the 4th to get my 3rd pick in. And so far I got Luka Doncic, Aleksej Pokusevski from Oklahoma City. He's my unicorn. And then I got Patrick Williams, young forward from the Bulls. Those are my 3 picks so far. Most other teams have had 4 or 5 picks now. I'm still stuck on 3, but after the 5th round, I got 2 5th round picks. So that's going to get me back on par. I'll have my 5 players by then. I got those 3 first rounders for next year, or the next 3 years. I'm pretty well set up for the future. Just gotta fill out the roster. This draft could take a month or 2. It's definitely time consuming, but I am trying to fit a video in here for you. Talking about football drafts, I've had a couple. And a couple of the things I really want to talk about is I don't really vary my draft strategy much. From year to year, pretty set in my ways. But this year I am trying to make tight end a priority because tight end, is becoming more important, especially in fantasy football. You want to get one of them premium tight ends if you can, because the separation between the top 3 or 4 compared to the rest of them is pretty significant. So I'm actually prioritizing my tight end 1 over my wide receiver 1 in some of these drafts. And so I have been getting George Kittle, and I'm not taking Travis Kelce. He's going top 5. I am not using a 1st round pick on a tight end. That will never happen. But I am moving tight end as a priority up into the top 4 or 5 rounds, rather than waiting till outside the top 5, which is a new thing for me. And another thing I want to note is I don't know if Deshaun Watson is going to play this year or not, but he is a freaking steal in the draft right now. I don't care. He's going undrafted or in the last round. I think, especially at that spot in the last round, you're kind of drafting a backup quarterback anyway, so he's not a guy that you're going to be relying on. And also in the last round, you're not investing a whole lot into him anyway, or even if you're getting him on waivers after the fact. I just think he's just absolutely if he does play this year, he's gonna vastly exceed his draft capital. So that's one good thing about drafting early is people are unsure about Watson. If Watson does return and play, his ADP is going to skyrocket. So if you can get him now in the last round as your QB2, I can't recall anything in recent memory, any situation like this where you can get a player of that caliber at that spot in the draft, and I am loving it. I am loving just grabbing Watson at the very end of my draft. Like I can even like draft a kicker before I draft Watson and know that I'm still gonna get a guy who's potentially top 10 QB this year. I can draft my kicker before I draft him. It's fantastic. I love it. But that's all I really have to say about football drafts right now. I don't know if I'm gonna do another, fantasy football drafting guide like I did last year. I think, the same rules that I had last year kind of still apply to this year. As for tonight, I just watched Jungle Cruise. I was a little distracted because I was that asshole who was on his phone in the movie theater because I was engaged in that draft. It was my picks were coming up, and I knew it was going to be my time to pick before the movie was over. So I had to make the pick. I traded up to get a guy that I really wanted, which was Patrick Williams. And now I have a pick again at 5.1, which is in 7 picks because we paused. The commissioner is doing a good job of pausing at night, so East Coast time, a certain point, like midnight East Coast time, opening it back up at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So, it kind of sucks for us West Coasters because we could definitely draft later than 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. is a little early. But so I do have a queue set though because I may potentially miss my pick tomorrow because I'll be at work at UPS, and UPS is a really fast-paced environment. Really, it's not a job where I'm going to be able to check my phone for a couple of minutes to make a pick. So, but I do have a queue list. I think I should hopefully get one of my top 2 on there. I do have a sneaky suspicion that a guy who's picking before me is going to take my top guy, but I'm pretty confident that I should get my second guy on the queue list. And if I do end up getting my number 1 guy, that'd be fantastic. I'm not going to share who that is because there's always the off chance that one of those people in my league could watch this video. So I'm not going to give up any strategic advantage in this video. But if and when I get those players, we'll talk about it in my next video. And man, I guess this video is not going to be shorter, even though I don't have a whole lot of baseball stuff to really talk about. I booked my trip to Tucson today. I'm going to be staying in my first 3-star hotel. I'm not real concerned about where I stay. I just want to have a place to sleep. I'm going to be out exploring 95% of the time. But I did book a 3-star today. It was a good deal, right? Kind of in the center by where the interstates merge, because in Tucson you got Interstate 10 and 19. They kind of merge at a certain point, kind of like here in Vancouver where you got the 205 and the 5 kind of merge. So I'm there, kind of in downtown, right in the center of town. It's a really good location, 3-star hotel. It was on sale for 25% off, mobile only price. I couldn't pass it up. There were some other cheaper ones that were nice, even some other 3-stars that were nice. They just weren't in the location of town that I was wanting to be in. It was kind of miles and miles from where I wanted to go and spend most of my time. So it wouldn't have, in the long run, wouldn't have ended up saving me money. But now I'm in a place where I can walk because everything's within 2 miles of mostly where I want to go. There are some places where I'm going to have to catch a lift or catch a bus or something over there. Yeah. There's a lot of good deals at places by the airport too, which would be convenient in any other time. But since I won't be flying into Tucson, I'll be flying into Phoenix. And then when I do fly out, I'll be coming back from Phoenix that day. So it didn't make any sense for me to stay near the airport, but I'm happy that I got better than usual lodging. So we'll check it out. I don't want to be spending too much time at my hotel though. That's why I never get super good ones, super nice ones, because that's not, I don't want the distractions. I don't need all the flair. But okay, let's get into baseball now. The one thing I do want to say is that Chris Sale is finally coming back for us on Saturday. He's due to start on Saturday. That's so fantastic, such fantastic news, right? With all these injury problems and COVID problems, we're getting some positive stuff. Chris Sale coming back. As for some streamers, 3 streamers for you tomorrow, real quickly. Steven Matz, Blue Jays at versus the Angels. Jake Odorizzi, Astros versus the Rockies. And if he does start, so far to be determined, we're not sure who's going to start for the Marlins, but if rookie Braxton Garrett does start against the Padres, he's a pretty decent play despite the Padres being a loaded lineup. Braxton Garrett has put up some monster strikeout numbers in his 2 starts this year. So, lots of potential there. And he is kind of one of the most highly touted prospects in baseball among pitchers right now. So, he's a guy that, excuse me, I got a little bit of a hang now. You want to get while the getting is good, before he blows up. So, yeah, sorry there wasn't a whole lot of baseball talk here, but I think we talked mostly about sports, so that's good, right? That's good. Can't wait to update you on how the next leg of this draft goes. Right now we've kind of, like I said, we're in the late 4th. We got late 4th round in about 3 days, so we're getting through like barely a round a day. We got 15 rounds, so yeah, most of us are kind of fast, but there's been a couple of guys who need hours to make their pick for whatever reason, and really drives the rest of us crazy. But most of us pretty good about picking within 15-20 minutes. Even when we're like negotiating trades and stuff, it still doesn't take us more than like a half hour to make a pick, which is really nice. So hopefully it just keeps progressing. Hopefully I can keep getting some players I like, even though I feel like I'm in kind of the worst draft position, being on the turn, having the big gaps between my picks. But I'm liking my chances of getting a couple of the guys that I really like with these next 2 picks that I've got here in the 5th. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. As always, have a blessed day. Good luck with your lineups. Good luck with your drafts. Again, I want to remind you to live in the moment, to live and do things that make you happy. Live with the time that you have to live. So, peace, love, and nacho fries.